Hello, my name's Laura from Mind Nourishing, and in this video we're going to be talking about eating for the menopause. So this video is for everyone, because even if you're not experiencing menopause yourself, I'm pretty sure you'll probably know someone, whether it's a friend, colleague, family member, that's going through this transition in their life. So we're first going to look a little bit about what menopause is, and then I'm going to go through some key nutritional changes that are really helpful when our hormones change through that menopausal time, just to get you feeling better. So menopause is actually defined as that point in time after 12 months of not having a regular menstrual cycle, so not having a period at all. Before we hit menopause, there's often a series of time called the perimenopause. And basically what the perimenopause is a period of time when your hormones such as estrogen and progesterone are slowly declining. So this can actually be really different depending on the individual. It can last for a few months. It can last up to 10 years, but the average time for someone to go through the perimenopause is about 4 years. So some of the symptoms associated with the decline of hormones such as estrogen, progesterone throughout perimenopause, and then when we hit menopause, is quite varied. So it could be things like hot flushes, it could be low energy, low mood, disturbances to sleep, changing in personality, irritability. Like, there's so many different things and symptoms that could change throughout this time, which is why sometimes women are left feeling a little bit overwhelmed about what's going on, is there anything else going on, and it can be quite a difficult period. So we know that being able to manage these symptoms is crucial to be able to support the quality of life of that individual, make sure that the symptoms that they're experiencing isn't really impacting their home life, their working life, and obviously their social life as well. So when it comes to diet, the foods that we put in our body, of course it's going to have a huge impact on a variety of different things, especially hormones. So one of the key things that we know when it comes to supporting women as they go through the menopause is that actually there's quite a lot of evidence to show that eating a Mediterranean style diet can actually be really helpful. So scientific studies have shown that eating a Mediterranean diet has found better outcomes in terms of heart health and lower weight in women as they go through the menopause. So what is the Mediterranean diet? I hear you shout. So a Mediterranean diet, basically the bulk of it, the majority of the foods that go into the Mediterranean diet are those beautiful, colourful fruits, vegetables and whole grains. So we know these are good for us. Like, I'm not going to be the first person that's told you that. The reason why it's so good as we go through menopausal years is not only are those colourful fruit and vegetables and whole grains giving us fibre, so that fibre is going to be supporting a really healthy gut bacteria, healthy gut microbiome, which we know is really crucial for hormonal balance, energy and our mood. But at the same time, it means that we get all of the essential nutrients and vitamins to support our body as it goes through this shift, which is completely natural but can be quite difficult for many people. So in particular, we know that dark green leafy veg, things like spinach, kale, cabbage. So these types of foods, as part of the Mediterranean diet, we know are really high in certain minerals like magnesium. This is really important when you're going through the menopause for a few different things. So the first thing is we know that stress can be a real big impact on our hormones, especially in women going through the menopause, where you're no longer making hormones from your ovaries, you're actually making and creating them from your adrenal glands. So if we're stressed and cortisol and adrenaline are getting created instead of estrogen and progesterone, then you're going to notice more symptoms. The great thing about magnesium, it's known as our nature's tranquilizer, and basically what it does, it helps to calm down our nervous system, which is perfect when we're really trying to just allow ourselves to be calm so that our hormones can be produced as they should. Not only that though, magnesium is also really important in energy production, and especially when women have things like sleep disturbances and generally find themselves lacking in energy. You want to make sure that you've got that crucial mineral magnesium to make sure that you can create the energy as you need it to. Finally, magnesium has been known to be good for things like muscle cramps and even hot flushes. So you can see that this incredible mineral that's in these dark green leafy veg, and it's in dark chocolate, can be really, really helpful if you're looking to balance your hormones. Another element of the Mediterranean diet is that there's always a good amount and good sources of protein. So in this kind of diet, this protein is often from chicken, oily fish, eggs, nuts, seeds, pulses, and a little bit of red meat as well. So this protein is basically our building blocks for our body. We need protein to even be able to create hormones in themselves. And especially when we reach older years, protein is really helpful to maintain muscle mass, which can help with our metabolism and means that we're kind of burning more calories as we're sitting down. Protein is also really helpful for allowing us to feel fuller for longer, which can be really helpful as women often struggle with slight weight gain as they go through the menopause. So I've mentioned one of these things as part of your protein-rich foods, but that is oily fish and omega-3 rich foods in general. So things like walnuts, chia seeds, linseeds. So these are an essential part of the Mediterranean diet, and we know that they can be incredible for brain health and mood. But also when it comes to the menopause, there's some scientific evidence that shows that oily fish and omega-3 can help to reduce the prevalence of hot flushes, which many women can struggle with during this time. So it's a great thing to maybe put in your shopping list, maybe buy some extra mackerel, sardines, salmon to go with your lunches, and obviously you're going to be adding in those colourful vegetables as well as part of the Mediterranean diet. So the final few things I'm going to mention when it comes to diet is that actually we can sometimes go a little bit wrong with what we thought was quote unquote healthy, and that is by eating low fat foods. What I mean by this is by opting for like low fat yogurts, low fat milks, low fat everything. And actually this might not be as helpful as we think, especially when we're looking to balance our hormones. That's because hormones need fats to be able to be produced. And when we go through a low fat diet, it means that they might struggle to have the key ingredients that they need. And things like vitamin D, which is fat soluble, maybe is less likely to be absorbed into the body because we don't have that fat there to be able to do that process. It also can be really helpful if you want an extra brownie point to add in things like full fat live Greek yogurts. The live part of it means that there's a bacteria in there called lactobacillus, and we know that lactobacillus can actually help the health of your vaginal bacteria, which can be really helpful as we go through the menopause to reduce issues like UTIs and thrush, which is often associated when our vaginal bacteria and the acidity lowers. So that could also be something that you look to put on your shopping list. So I hope you find these initial tips really helpful when supporting your hormones. So it's adding in the Mediterranean diet, lots of colour, good quality proteins, oily fish, full fat dairy, maybe a little bit of live, like fermented foods to support your bacteria, and hopefully that really helps as some initial steps to be able to support you and your loved ones through the menopause. I really hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks so much for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you soon.